Lesson 83. Today let us review these ideas. 65. My only function is the one God gave me. I have no function but the one God gave me. This recognition releases me from all conflict because it means I cannot have conflicting goals. With one purpose only, I'm always certain what to do, what to say, and what to think. All doubt must disappear as I acknowledge that my only function is the one God gave me. More specific applications of this idea might take these forms. My perception of this does not change my function. This does not give me a function other than the one God gave me. Let me not use this to justify a function God did not give me. 66. My happiness and my function are one. All things that come from God are one. They come from oneness and must be received as one. Fulfilling my function is my happiness because both come from the same source. And I must learn to recognize what makes me happy if I would find happiness. Some useful forms for specific applications of this idea are: this cannot separate my happiness from my function. The oneness of my happiness and my function remains wholly unaffected by this. Nothing, including this, can justify the illusion of happiness apart from my function. Lesson 83. Fireside Chat. Review of Lessons 65 and 66. My only function is the one God gave me. My happiness and my function are one. All right, mighty companions, pull up a chair, let's sit beside the fire of clarity and dig into this one. Today's review is a gentle but radical reset. It's about returning to the truth of what we are and dropping everything else that doesn't align. My only function is the one God gave me. Lesson 65. Let's not skip over the word only. It doesn't say your main function. It doesn't say your best function. It says, you have no function but the one God gave you. That's a scorched earth kind of clarity. It burns up all the side quests we invent. People-pleasing, proving ourselves, holding grudges, chasing approval. Those aren't your function. That's busy work for the ego. It keeps you tired and unsure. But your real function? It's forgiveness. That's what clears the fog. That's what lets you remember you are the light of the world. Why does this recognition release you from conflict? Because all conflict is inner conflict. If I've made up a dozen fake purposes, get rich, get revenge, get validation, I'm going to feel pulled in a dozen directions. But if I have one purpose, forgiveness, peace, letting go, then the tug-of-war ends. The ego has no rope to pull on. Example of conflicting goals. Let's say someone betrayed you. One part of you wants peace. Another part wants justice or payback. You're torn. But forgiveness collapses the duality. It says, let it go. It never really happened in truth. Now you're free. What does it mean to be certain? With one purpose only. I am always certain what to do, what to say, and what to think. Here's what that looks like. What to do. Extend peace. What to say. Speak from love or stay silent until you can. What to think. Think with God, not the ego. Forgiveness, not judgment. If it doesn't come from that place, it's not coming from your function. Example of a misperception, not changing your function. You lose your job. You think, I'm worthless now. But your function hasn't changed. You can still forgive. You can still bring light. The job didn't give you your function, so it can't take it away. Let me not use this to justify a function God did not give me. This can be a grievance, a diagnosis, an identity label, an insult. Whatever this is, don't let it become your excuse to forget who you are. My happiness and my function are one. Lesson 66. Let's say that again slowly. My happiness and my function are one. Now here's where it gets mystical. All things that come from God are one. That means your happiness isn't over there behind some relationship or job or lifestyle. It's not in a million places. It's in one place. And that one place is where your function is. Forgiveness, alignment, peace. Your joy isn't separate from your purpose. They're the same thing. If it's more than one, it's not from God. Boom. That rules out most of what we chase. Why don't we know what makes us happy? Because we think pleasure equals happiness. We think ego victories equal peace. But the Course says, you do not know what makes you happy. If we did, we'd choose it every time, so we have to learn it. And learning requires unlearning what we thought made us happy. This cannot separate my happiness from my function. This could be your partner being cold. It could be your bank account. It could be traffic. It could be sickness. None of those can truly steal your peace, unless you believe they can. Nothing, including this, can justify the illusion of happiness apart from my function. That's like saying, I'm not going to sell my soul for a crumb. Not today. Not ever. My function is whole, eternal, and it brings joy that doesn't fade after a dopamine hit. The lighthouse. You're a lighthouse. That's your function. You shine, you guide, you don't chase boats, you don't dive in after them, you just shine. When you try to be anything else, a tugboat, a coast guard, a cruise ship, you burn out. But when you remember, I am here to shine forgiveness into the fog, your home. The sunbeam. You're a sunbeam. You don't have a separate will from the sun. Your function is to shine where the sun sends you. Can a sunbeam find happiness apart from its function? No. It would have to pretend to be separate, and in doing so, it would disappear. The actor who forgot their acting. You're in a play and you've forgotten it's a play. You think the villain really hates you. You think the heartbreak is permanent. But then someone whispers, "Hey, remember?" You're just acting. You're playing the role of the victim, the achiever, the seeker, but your real self is untouched. That's the Holy Spirit. That's the reminder. That's your salvation. If happiness and your function are one, then every moment is either a remembering or a detour. But the good news, you can always choose again.